What if I told you that the camera you are dreaming of actually doesn't make you a better photographer? Maybe it is something else. We will dig into that in this episode. It is either the lens or the camera, and in the case you have a fixed lens camera, well, then it is both. But today it will be the importance about lenses versus the camera. What comes first? Often we buy a camera and then we attach a lens, and maybe it should be the other way around, or at least that's the way we should be thinking when we're beginning to exchange the equipment we already bought. It is either the lens or the camera, and in the case you have a fixed lens camera, well, then it is both. But today it will be the importance about lenses versus the camera. What comes first? Often we buy a camera and then we attach a lens, and maybe it should be the other way around, or at least that's the way we should be thinking when we're beginning to exchange the equipment we already bought. I bought many years ago, as I was 17 years old, that must be around 1978. Yes, that old I am. I bought my first Olympus OM2, and then I added a 50mm lens to that. That was the cheap bargain I could get, and I bought both of these parts used, and I got used to the 50mm that way. I don't say you should do the same. You can use a 35, whatever you want. It is just to say, is the lens the most important thing, or is the camera the most important thing? That is the subject today, and I will reveal my favorite lens today in the end of the video, and a little talk about the workshops I do, because I have been asked about telling a little about that, but I hide that to the end of the video. My name is Morten Albek. I'm a professional photographer, and I have been a professional for about 35 years plus, and I have used the 50mm all the way along. But it's not just about the 50mm. This could be a 35, a 85, whatever you want to use as a lens. But what comes first? Camera body or lens? What is most important? And many will argue they are equally important, but I will deny that to a certain point. And some of this will be a little contradiction there. There will be some that can say, okay, you say that, but you could also say this, and that's true. I just give you my 2 cents for what I think about lenses and cameras and what is most important. And I will tell you why I nearly always set my preference on the lens instead of the camera body. First of all, if we take the modern camera body in the digital age, and we do not talk about an old Nikon, which is a film camera, we don't talk about that. That's a little bit different. But in the digital age, we have a tendency to shift our camera bodies all the time because new features comes up. You can have more megapixels. The dynamic range will be far superior to the M9 here in a modern camera, which means you will have a deeper space between blacks and absolute whites, which means you can take pictures under more difficult light situations that I can with the M9 here, which is closer to film but not superior to film. Then if you shoot RAW, you have even more possibilities. You can have very large files. You can have all kinds of presets in the camera that you might like to play around with in JPEG format. And all of that are new features: low ISO noise, higher speed between the pictures when you shoot in burst mode. There are plenty of menu subjects in there that you can dig into, and they will for sure fix new ones, so you can get that eager to buy a new camera all the time. And that's why camera bodies often are swapped between 3 and 5 years. Some will last longer. I have had this M9 for 10 years. I keep my stuff as long as I can before I shift, because then I know how it works. Camera bodies changes all the time. In the old days, also with film cameras, there will be new light sensors in here. There will be a better transition of the film. There can be all kinds of features, and all of that also made people swap their camera bodies before the lenses. And the thing is, a lens stays and a camera goes often, and that's why I say a lens is more important than the camera body, because the camera body can only shift those specs it can only change those dynamic ranges, and that can be a feature you might need or not. You might need to shoot sports and therefore need a higher burst mode. You might need to shoot birds and therefore you need some autofocus system that can handle that. I fully understand that. But if we narrow it into my area, street photography, portraits, and the documentary stuff I do as a professional, all of that, or news stories, all of that can be covered with this camera body, and with the same lens I don't need to shift all the time. What is the favor of that? This one lens for all approach I often talk about. That is, you know your gear. You will get the same expression. You don't have to think so much about gear settings. You just take up your camera and intuitively you set your camera at the right measures, exposure, aperture, manual or autofocus. This one cannot do autofocus, so that's fully manual, but all of that stuff you will know in your bones when you lift your camera because you know it. So if you shift the camera all the time, you also have to get adjusted to new menu setups. I did a video about that not so long ago. Simplify your setup so you don't have to sit there and look in menus. And as most of us men watching this channel, I know women do too, but men especially, types like me, hate to look in a manual to see the settings. We just want to open the camera and fumble around with it and use our time with that and then know it. I will do that even less because I keep the same camera body for a long time. But camera bodies also are worn out. They will not last forever. There's a male function in this one, so it will not drive the film anymore. But the difference with that the camera begins to fail is the lens continues to function, so I don't have to shift that. And the point here is, if you favor your lens, then you keep it. The old Nikon lens here, 55mm down to 1.2 in opening aperture, have a very special characteristic. It is not brilliant in color, but for black and white it is fantastic. Wide open, it will have some focus rendering that is a little odd, but that can be a nice feature. The other Nikon here is a 1.28 24mm, also a very old lens, and as you can see I have put an adapter on because I used it on, and it goes a little tight. I used it actually for a professional assignment as 4 weeks ago or something, because I needed a sharp lens, and this old lens is still sharp. So where the camera stops working, the lens continues. Of course you can get issues with a lens as well, but if they are built well, they will last for a very long time and they will absolutely survive the camera body. And the main point here is not necessarily what survives what in actual use. It is more like the characteristic of a lens have much bigger value than the characteristic of a camera body. The camera body will have different tonalities in the sensor when we talk digital cameras. There will be a difference between the M9 here, which is a very classic CCD sensor camera having a very special expression. The new M10 and 11 or ME1 will have a different expression because the manufacturer have set up the sensor in a different way, and it is not a CCD sensor but a CMOS sensor, which also means something. But if you then compare that with a Sony, which I also use for professional use, then there is a difference in the tonality, and I far better like the Leica expression, not only at the M9 but also the M10 and 11. It is superior to the Sony, sorry Sony, but it is for my taste. But your taste could be different, and maybe you pick up a Nikon or a Fuji lens or a camera and like the sensor type there, and then the lens comes in, and the lens is the most important thing. And why is that? That is because the lens have a special specification. It renders light, colors, sharpness, all of that, distortion, vignetting, what else it can be depending on what focal length it is a characteristic for a lens series. In this case I have the Summilux on my Leica M9 here, and I talked about that last time. Maybe it's a little bit too sharp, maybe I need something that is a little softer. I will add a filter, a Pro Mist filter 1.8 for that later when I receive it, just to see what happens. And that can be one thing to do. You can also buy a different lens, which I'm also considering, to get a lens that is not that sharp in that way. And when I say that sharp in that way, we are down in the details about how the lines in the background here will be rendered, how everything else will be rendered. So it's very much about each of the different lenses. The Nikon lenses here are completely different if it is a series from a certain period to another, or it is a Leica Summilux or a Summicron or another brand. They will all have their own ways of rendering light and sharpness, and we can look at how light flare, when light hits the glass, and how that influences on how the light will smear out or not the picture, because the lens have a different coating. This is a modern sharp lens, so the diffusion of the light will be less than a Summicron version 3 from years ago. All of that have an influence on the personality, you can say, of a lens. And if you bring that lens from one camera and put it onto another camera, not this one, but to a Sony camera or a Nikon camera with an adapter, then the characteristics of that specific lens will go with onto a new camera body, even from another brand. And as mentioned, different brands will have a little bit different color rendering on the sensor, but the characteristics of the lens will travel from one camera to another. And I have used this Summilux lens on this Leica M9. I have used it on M11. I have used it on Sony cameras, because it is the same expression I want to bring from one camera body to another. And there can be different reasons to bring it to different camera bodies. It can be different needs for that, or it can simply just be to test it out and see what happens. If you have another camera body but you want the same type of lens, then just bring the lens forward to all those camera bodies. And I have had different camera bodies. I had a time where my old M9 suffered from corrosion at the sensor and well-known M9 problem. Then I had a period where I didn't have a camera, so I used this lens on my Sony instead, because I liked the expression. And now it's back on a newer M9 with a replaced sensor, which would never suffer from corrosion because it is a newer type of sensor, still CCD, but it is protected from corrosion. So therefore I can use it on this camera body for many years. But eventually, if this camera body should fail, or I add another camera to my collection, then I simply can travel this piece of glass over to a new camera body and I get the same look. A little different colors because of the sensor, but I have the same characteristic of the lens traveling from one body to another, and that's the point of it. So therefore I will say the importance of the lens is bigger than the importance of the camera. And of course there will be examples where you say, okay, this camera type, the M9, will overshadow any other camera body, and therefore I keep it as long as I can. But one day when the camera body will not work anymore, and there's a bigger chance of this not working anymore than the lens will stop functioning, then I just let the lens go further to a new camera body. This way you can keep your style, you can keep your beloved lens much longer than a camera. So if you keep your glass clean, then there will be no fungus, there will be no haze inside here. The most important thing is when you store your lenses, keep them dust free, but keep them in light, because fungus hates light. It will kill it. And probably what causes most fungus is that they are stored in either a humid area and in a dark area. So keep it in a dry area, but also in full sun, so you don't get fungus inside your lenses. Then they will stay with you for many years. And if you look at it, there are vintage lenses for sale all the time, and they are still working. And the biggest improvements in my photography career has not been buying a new camera body. It has always been knowing the lens. And when I stuck to the 50mm, it's just a personal thing. You might like a 35, 28, maybe a tele lens, a 100mm, something else much more, which is great. The importance is that you find the lens that suits you and that overweights the camera that suits you. because the lens just have more characteristic than the camera body. To sum that up, then the camera captures what you see, the lens transforms what you see. And on my workshops, I will do exercises with this, and I encourage people to use the same lens for full day. You can shift, of course, during the day if you want to, but my approach is try the same lens all day long. See what that changes in your mindset, how you look at things, because you stay true to the same focal length and begin to look like that focal length. You see things in that framing and don't have to shift gear all the time. That's the approach about one lens for all. And on my courses we have different main subjects, and then we have all the basics like camera settings, light, how to set up your camera so you can easily shoot, choosing one lens for the day and knowing what that will do. And then we have special focus like light, like decisive moment, color photography, monochrome courses, stuff like that. Check all of that out on the website. On the 2 days courses we have 2 full days where we will look into the streets, search for the best situation. It can be urban style, it can be abstract, it can be people. We cover whatever the group wants, because we can go to the same places and have different ways of looking at it. We will try to find the best moments, the best light, the best settings for the camera, and gain the inspiration by using the same lens, so you start seeing instead of looking at camera settings. All of that is covered at the 2 days workshop, and at the extended 3 days workshops there will also be editing in Lightroom and Capture One, so we get the final result on the place where we stay. On the 2 days workshop we also have a Zoom meeting afterwards to catch up on what everybody did. And now the final verdict. The Sony Luxia still is my favorite lens. Let's see when I buy a new lens in future if that was going to be my favorite lens. But from all the lenses I have, I just brought a few up here, then this still is what sits on my camera. Only when I really need it I change to something else, because the job is for that. But for all my street photography, this is what goes with me, because I know what I get. Besides looking at lenses and camera bodies and choosing what is the most important thing here, then please sign up for my newsletter. You will get some free stuff there. You will have some free presets you can download, and there will be a discount on one of my ebooks as well. But sign up for a newsletter and you will know which one. I send out 2 kinds of newsletters. One is focused on workshops, one is focused on articles on my blog, and in this case I also written something about this subject which will deepen your understanding about choosing between camera and lenses. You find it on the blog on mortenalbek.com.